leadership has strongly condemned what they describe as a deliberate smear campaign against Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. A recent entry on the Finnish version of Wikipedia has come under scrutiny, with accusations that it misrepresents Ekpa's role and distorts the Biafran struggle for self-determination. The USB government is calling this a calculated attack aimed at discrediting their movement in the eyes of the international community. Meanwhile, in Oslo, Norway, a court ruling in favor of Ambazonian leader Dr. Cho Ayaba has sparked both celebration and controversy. The court dismissed charges against Dr. Ayaba, but a state prosecutor has already announced plans to appeal. We will bring you full details on these two major developments, along with expert analysis. Jonathan has more.
The States of Biafra government has issued a strong statement condemning what they describe as an orchestrated attempt to manipulate public perception of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. The Finnish Wikipedia page in question, accessible at fi.wikipedia.org, wiki Simon Ekpa, has been accused of containing misleading and defamatory content. Officials argue that this is part of a broader strategy to delegitimize the Biafran struggle and undermine their leadership. According to USB government, Minister of Information, Telecommunications, and Postal Services Dr. Agre, this is not an isolated incident, but rather a systematic effort to distort historical narratives. They claim that international forces opposed to Biafra's independence have long relied on media disinformation to discredit their movement. She further explains that they can peddle their lies as long as they wish, but we have defeated them. The more they propagate these distortions, the more they expose their complicity in the ongoing genocide against our people. As the controversy unfolds, BTN has reached out to Wikipedia for comment regarding allegations of bias and misinformation. As of now, there has been no official response. Back to you in the studio.
Begin with an inspiring story about Nnamdi Kanu's son, who has made global headlines for his academic excellence. Meanwhile, tragedy strikes in Enugu State as a university student is brutally killed in a targeted attack by Fulani herdsmen. These stories and more coming up next. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's son has been recognized as the best student in mathematics and science in Georgia, USA, outperforming students from over 30 countries including China and England. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. He was kidnapped by the Nigerian government from Kenya while traveling with UK passports and rendition to Nigeria in 2021. Nnamdi Kanu's son crowned best student in mathematics and science in the USA. This young scholar's achievement is a testament to the resilience and brilliance of Biafran youths worldwide. If you're just joining us, we earlier reported on the remarkable achievement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's son, who was awarded for outstanding performance in mathematics and science in the United States. Now we turn to a tragic incident in Enugu State, where a university student was brutally murdered by Fulani herdsmen, leaving an entire community in mourning. Donatus Ndubuisi, a 29-year-old student of Enugu State University of Science and Technology, was killed while assisting his widowed mother on their farm. According to reports, Ndubuisi had traveled home to visit his mother and decided to help her harvest cassava when armed Fulani herdsmen ambushed them. Tragically, he was shot and killed, leaving his mother devastated. This is not the first time the community of Eha Amufu has witnessed such violence. Residents say Fulani herdsmen have been terrorizing the area for years, with many families losing loved ones in similar attacks. Ndubuisi's father was also reportedly killed by herdsmen in the past, making this a double tragedy for the family. In response to the killing, thousands of women from Eha Amufu took to the streets in protest, demanding justice and an end to the violence. The protesters, representing 7 autonomous communities, accused the authorities of neglect and complicity, stating that the attacks have continued without intervention. The tragic murder of Donatus Ndubuisi has reignited calls for urgent security measures to protect vulnerable communities. We will continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates as they unfold. That's it.
Media shouldn't have just jumped into character assassinating by just, labeling someone that you've not caught red-handed, that nobody in history has ever confirmed his tribe or his kinsmen with that kind of activities. Tools company, such tools company or engine, number one in the world is Google. Google is having over how many trillion assets and is the richest social media platform. It's richer than Yahoo by far. Then you have Alexia. You know, Wikipedia shouldn't have just jumped into character assassinating by just, you know, labeling someone that you've not caught red-handed, that nobody in history has ever confirmed his tribe or his kinsmen with that kind of activities. Ekpa could never have been. No Igbo man is a terrorist. We have been saying this. But because Nigerian government prescribed IPOB blindly, Wikipedia jump into criticizing Ekpa, you know, writing it. They already program it online that Ekpa is a terrorist. And today, with that libel suit, Wikipedia is going to pay. Yes, they are going to pay. I'm telling you, it's a must too. For defamation of character, damaging Ekpa's personality, Ekpa has right to sue Wikipedia. Not only United States. United States is doing that because they have interest in Igbo land, and they have actually seen that Ekpa has never perpetrated anything like arsonism in Nigeria. It is Nigerian government. It is the Fulani oligarchs that are responsible for all the killings, all the terrorist activities across Nigeria. Credits to Fulani, you know, oligarchy. That's why America, in a very swift manner, rushed to the World International Criminal Court to sue Wikipedia to pay that money to the innocent victim. Just a victim of circumstances. I mean, Simon Ekpa. Because everything Fulani, Yoruba government, Fulani government, Yoruba government, Fulani government, that is what we have been having in Nigeria. Yoruba will be president, Fulani will be president, Yoruba will be president, Fulani will be president. They rush into criticizing Simon Ekpa to the level of proscribing him a terrorist. And America has actually screened him. Israel has actually screened him. United Nations has gone into serious investigation to actually find out what was going on in Igbo land. And they found out that it was the Fulani headers, number 4th deadliest terrorist organization in the world. The Fulani animal rearers. They are the terrorists in Nigeria. Ekpa, Simon Ekpa is not. Simon Ekpa is just defending his tribe, defending the Biafrans, thereby fighting seriously for emancipation of Biafra sovereignty. Ekpa would have no reason to perpetrate terrorism across Southeast or across Nigeria. Because Ekpa is a Nigerian, a Finnish citizen, living in Finland, doing his normal business. And he was actually given or handed over a designated position in Finland government. And Ekpa did actually well after he resigned from Finland, you know, from Finnish military. So tell me, how come Ekpa perpetrating terrorism in Nigeria? So all these are the work of the Fulanis. All these are the work of Yoruba politicians. Somebody like Bayo Ononuga has seen Igbo man as black sheep of this country. Bayo Ononuga doesn't look 2 times to criticize the obedient movement. That obedient movement are responsible for the protesters that actually, you know, thrown the country into, let me say, absolute darkness on November 2024. Bayo Ononuga said it's the Igbos, it's the Igbos, it's the obedient, it's Simon Ekpa, it's Nnamdi Kanu, all his boys. Bayo Ononuga could not see anything right to say about Igbos because he's a very dubious Yoruba man. He actually accused Igbos wrongly, and they stay cooling his head at Aso Rock, siphoning money, reaping from where he did not sow. And today, we are seeing a dilapidated Nigeria. The economy has collapsed to zero because of the handwork of Bayo Ononuga and his other cabal's colleague. And today, what are we saying? Wikipedia must pay. It's a good labor suit and to actually vindicate Biafra. Because investigation going on and on by United Nations and Finland, by United States of America, and the other civil rights organization has actually come out to at least testify that the terrorist group we have in Nigeria are, number 1, Fulani headers. They are number 4th in the world. 2, Boko Haram. 3, ISWAP. 4, bandits. 5, Lakrua. None has been linked to the people of southeastern Nigeria. All these names were linked to Middle East Europe, Arab countries, Iran, Iraq, Hamas, Hezbollah, way back to Africa, Kano, Boronu, Katsina, Futajelo Highland, southern Algeria, southern Libya, and Niger, some part of Niger, where Niger and Burkina Faso had boundary, you have this ISIS operating there, and other terrorist group. So Igbo man has nothing to do with an act of terrorism. They are businessmen, and Simon Ekpa would not have any reason to at least perpetrate an act of terrorism in Nigeria. He's not living in Nigeria. He's a well-paid man in Finland, where he is doing his businesses. So I think Wikipedia has gone a long way to dent their reputation. And the United States of America, Israel, I mean under Netanyahu, is taking good, action against Wikipedia's, blogging. They blogged it and they thought they could go free. And that was a dangerous blog. And today, they are going in for it. Actually, they are going in for it because they must visit ICC. They must visit ICC.
And we've seen during a media chat with channels, Governor Soludo said, Ekpa issue is different from Nnamdi Kanu's case. That Ekpa was what? It was siphoning funds around the globe from Biafrans, to commit terrorism. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with what he said as regards Ekpa collecting donations fund, making himself rich and committing terrorism?
No, actually we investigated Ekpa's activities in Finland and found out that the donor account was meant for Biafra liberation, Biafra liberation or inauguration that actually took part in Finland November last year. The whole money contributed are just meant for the funding for security in the land of Biafra. They collect the money, they pay security personnel, the forest guard, the ESN in Igbo land. ESN is not a terror group. They are the security outfit initiated by the Igbos to take care of our forest against the Fulani invasion. So what happened was that that particular account has been made known to United Nations, made known to United States, made known to Finland. It wasn't meant for sponsorship of terrorism. And you can see that Ekpa has been since vindicated. Many months now, actually Finland has actually come out to even sue federal government of Nigeria, take them to court for illegal allegation against their own citizen, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Ekpa has been vindicated all through. Nobody has linked any sponsorship of terrorism to Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland. So that's why ICC, International Criminal Court, still awaits arrival of Colonel Musa, still awaits arrival of the like of publicity media to Aso Rock, that is a Bayon Onoga, to come and actually clear himself. You must go and testify and tell them the reason why you actually accuse this man of sponsoring terrorism in the southeastern Nigeria. But none of them has been able to grace the invitation. They couldn't honor it. Actually, if they go there, they will be arrested. If any one of them go to ICC, they will be arrested. That's why they distance themselves. These are Nigerian political leaders. They know how to play politics. They know how to play hanky-panky. I don't really understand. So they can never go. They can never honor the invitation. And Simon Ekpa has been exonerated since, vindicated, that account was thrown into commotion when Peter Mba, the governor of Enugu State, paid actually $120 million into that account so that the ego eye of Finnish security will be raised. And they raise their eyes. They become to question about the whereabouts of the money. And Ekpa and other Biafran, members, in exile, actually clarify that the money was a package from federal government of Nigeria to implicate Ekpa and Biafra agitation. And actually, after investigation, Nigeria actually discovered that Ekpa will not be at least extradited into Nigeria. And that was when Colonel Musa and the rest of them at Aso Rock started nursing their injury. They started gnashing their teeth because they have actually missed it. Simon Ekpa is not coming. They are not bringing him in, and they must go and answer to allegations. First one, they labeled against Simon Ekpa in ICC. At ICC this time around, they are waiting for Nigerian government officials to come forward with their what? Evidences to actualize their quotes and the claim that Ekpa sponsored terrorism in the past or presently.
And lastly, the Fulanis on social media yesterday, the Fulanis have called on Justice Omotosho, the new judge that will preside over Namikanu case from March 21st, to do the needful. But a lot of Igbos have come out and said they are confident as regards in Namikanu victory against Omotosho. What's your take as regards?
Omotosho is a small boy. If you profile him, he just passed out from last. He's a small boy that just graduated from last year. He has no experience. He has not one cases in the past, which is why he's not a son. He's a very young boy in his 50s. Yes, early 50s. So Omotosho, only school he went was just Akoka and Lasu. He went to other places and obtained his degrees. And he has not gone outside Nigerian soil to school to read law. Omotosho did not attend Harvard University or Oxford University. I don't know how he could withstand the Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu's profile will scare Omotosho out of his father's house. He will absconded and go and run away. Nnamdi Kanu's profile is too much. Omotosho is nothing comparing to Nnamdi Kanu's intelligence and the knowledge of law. So on getting to the court on 21st of this month, we are going to see how Omotosho will be following Yakata. Nnamdi Kanu will give him woto in the court. Because Omotosho is not up to the level of Binta and Yako. Omotosho is not up to the level of John Tusho, who actually washed off his hands of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, distancing himself and allaying fear that he might not like his legal records soiled. While Omotosho is a Yoruba man that is tired of poverty and is being invited, giving money, bribed by federal government of Nigeria to come and read out of contest, do nonsense in the court of law. But I believe God in what God can do in Nnamdi Kanu, that Kanu will actually teach Omotosho law that he doesn't know. And come what may, Omotosho should be distancing himself. Because if you get closer to Nnamdi Kanu is ready to get me again. Bien up on onu, imi ana agbamme ozugbo. Nye ozugbo no ekpo onu as I go Peter. Because Omotosho is just going there to collect bribe, to go and read law and actually take instruction from Fulanis, which is against the law. It is unjustified for him to go and listen to Fulanis instruction. Meaning he's not going there to review our constitutionalities, but he's going there to support the Fulani oligarchs.
But he's not capable. Why do you think that the government gave him?
No, he's not capable. He's a small boy that will receive money. He doesn't care about integrity and pedigree. Nothing concerns a small boy of his age with integrity, dignity, and the pedigree. All he knows now is money to build his house, money to help his wife in his wife's job. If you look at Omotosho, he's a very hungry looking man. I don't think he's worth going to that place. But on getting to that place, actually, Nnamdi Kanu is going to slug it out legally with him. And Nnamdi Kanu will size him up to know whether he can stand most of the questions coming from that young man. And again, Omotosho is not the kind of Chief Justice I know that could look straight into the eyes of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu yenye woto. Omotosho is going to the court to sell himself. He has no pedigree. He could not withstand the Nnamdi Kanu.
But just like the last season, do you think Nnamdi Kanu will defend himself?
He's going to defend himself. Nnamdi Kanu defend himself at the Supreme Court. Yeah. The like of Jimy, they are going to question that small boy. And many of them, and the Nyako that senior Omotosho shake and shook his head 10 times before he absconded. Then Omotosho is a small boy. He could not even withstand Ezekome. Ezekome won his case and left since. They are just doing yaya. Also going to take them as yaya people. So Omotosho will be defeated. They will give him woto. He will abscond from that court auditorium and run away.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Simon appeared in court yesterday in Finland, and something very, very interesting happened. So Mr. Simon definitely will see freedom any moment from now. The court of law will have to free him because his lawyers are trying to pull strings together and make sure this guy gets released this week. The government of Finland has released and published new article regarding this man showing right now on your screen. And based out of this news publication, we believe and we know that Mr. Simon will be released anytime soon. So the question here is, what did the government of Finland release and published regarding this man showing right now on your screen? Well, in this video, we shall be going through all of the details and breaking news one after the other so you can see things for yourself. Yes, this will be one of the biggest news you've seen or heard this week. So let's kickstart this video from the very starting point. Yes, like we all know, on the 21st of November 2024, the government of Finland came out to make a very precise statement and publication. Showing right now on your screen is this particular publication coming from the official page of the government of Finland, where it states, police request remand of 5 persons on suspicion of this particular offense, showing right now on your screen. Yes, this simply means that 5 individuals were arrested based out of this particular offense pinpointed in this publication. But then something interesting has happened. It feels like Mr. Simon will definitely regain freedom. Yes, because yesterday Mr. Simon was brought into a district court of Päijät-Häme to continue his hearing and continue his investigation. Yes, Mr. Simon appeared in court yesterday in Finland, and something very interesting happened in the courts of law. Yes, for the second time running, a man known as Ekpa represented Mr. Simon in the court of law. This man happens to be the assistant lawyer representing Mr. Simon, and his main lawyer hasn't showed up in 2 different hearings in the Päijät-Häme district court. Yes, who is this Ekpa? Well, we had to do a brief research on him to understand his background, his educational background, his experience, and so on and so forth. But we couldn't get any info or intel about him. But that is not the case. Let's go to the interesting part of this video. What's showing right now on your screen is a said publication I showed you a couple of seconds or minutes back, where it states police request remand of 5 persons on suspicion of this particular offense, showing right now on your screen. But yesterday, the courts made a U-turn. Yes, the Päijät-Häme district court made a U-turn. The question here is how and why. Well, take a look at this publication showing right now on your screen, where it states only Mr. Simon is suspected of crime of incitement, while 4 other men are suspected of financing this particular offense, pinpointed on your screen right now. Hope this is very clear. Well, to better explain what is currently happening, it's simple. The Päijät-Häme district court had a hearing yesterday where Mr. Simon, together with other individuals arrested around 11th or 21st of November last year, these guys appeared in the Päijät-Häme district court, and the court came out to make a very interesting statement after doing some research and investigation, which simply means that Mr. Simon had no linkage with this particular offense showing right now on your screen. I don't want to call this offense in words, because if I do, the YouTube algorithm will flag this video down and probably you won't be able to see it. So Mr. Simon has been cleared from this particular offense. Why the 4 other individuals who were arrested alongside with him are the guys pinpointed for this particular crime, for financing this particular offense, as stated on your screen. Hope this is very clear. Yes, so as you can see, Mr. Simon's name has been cleared, and the 4 other individuals who were arrested alongside are the guys who have been pinpointed by the Päijät-Häme district court. Yes, this Päijät-Häme district court also went a step further to give us more intel and more clarification regarding this particular matter. It went a step further to state that the suspected offense was committed between the 25th of August of 2022 and the 19th of November of 2023 and took place in Helsinki. Yes, this offense took place in a city called Helsinki and not in Lary, the official residence place of Mr. Simon, as stated previously. So this is a very interesting one that definitely will send shockwaves into the hearts and spines of many individuals residing in Nigeria. Anyways, moving on swiftly, the chief detective of the Finnish police in the person of Inspector Otto Hiltonen came out to make a clear statement that will change a lot of things that has happened over the past couple of months. Well, for better understanding, take a look at this article coming from Yale, where it states the man has carried out his activity, for example, on his social media channels, says Detective Chief Inspector Ohuto Hiltonen in a press release from the National Bureau of Investigation. So as you can see, the Finnish police has removed the case of terrorism from Simon's case, and they are now basing their investigation on inciting different activities from his social media page. Yes, this is a very, very interesting one, and this is a good news, a very big and gigantic news for individuals representing Mr. Simon in the court of law and his supporters. Anyways, moving on swiftly, the Finnish police and its authorities also gave interesting fact and details, something that we've never seen or heard before. Yes, so the 4 individuals who were arrested alongside with Simon Ekpa, the Finnish police has released interesting details attached with these 4 individuals. Well, based out of the reports made by the Finnish police, they claim that these individuals moved funds and received finances from different countries of the world. Yes, showing right now on your screen some of the countries that the Finnish police believe that these individuals received or channeled funds from. As you can see, we have Turkey, we have Jordan, we have Saudi Arabia, we have Kuwait, and from Yemen, and so on and so forth. The list continues. Yes, so the Finnish police believe that these individuals, these 4 other individuals, operated an international scheme where funds, monies, and finances were transferred from different parts of the world, from Asia, from Europe, from Africa, and so on and so forth. So they're currently investigating these guys on how they channeled their funds from all parts of the world. Well, as we speak, the authorities noticed about 10 different ways and methods these guys moved funds without any form of suspicion. Well, showing right now on your screen are some of this method where we have some of these individuals arrested managed to move funds as a customer deposit funds into gaming accounts, but the funds are not drawn from and deposited into the same account. Anyways, you can pause this part of the video and look at the different ways and method the 4 other individuals moved funds from all part of the country into Nigeria to fund the unrest we've noticed in the southeastern region. Anyways, moving on swiftly, let's focus on Mr. Simon now. Since the Finnish authorities claim that this guy has no linkage, primary linkage, with the unrest in southeastern Nigeria, what will happen to him? Well, the police still feels like Mr. Simon incited series of crimes in the southeastern part of Nigeria using his Twitter page. Yes, they believe that he used his social media platform to incite violence and different forms of crimes in Nigeria. So what is the possible punishment? Because this guy is actually lucky, because if the Finnish authorities and the Pajahami district court tried him for terrorism, this guy might probably spend the rest of his life in jail. But now they've removed that case in his file and are looking at incitement only. So what is the possible outcome? Yes, as we speak, we are still going through different files, through different court precedents and all of those good stuff